So I guess I'm just gonna start posting book vlogs because I can't be fucked to write a script to do a video. I started this book, oh my god, Gothikana by RuNyx. RuNyx? I don't know. It's like, I'm pretty sure it's an Amazon book because it's printed kind of weird, but it's like a dark academia type genre. I think it's like a romance too, but I don't know. Still getting through it. I'll let you know. The main character is a girl, 21-year-old girl named Corvina, who gets accepted into a college even though she was homeschooled her whole life. There's one thing that really is bugging me about it with how it's printed. Like, some things get cut off in the center. I've also found at least one like spelling error. I don't know if it's a spelling error or a misprint or what, but let me show you. So like the book has a map, right? But look, like it's cut off so bad. Like, what's the point in a map if you can't see all of it? The first chapter has a quote from Oscar Wilde, and it has a misspelling right here. It should say, "We are each hour on devil," and it says out. I'm probably nitpicking, but I'm so new to like reading newer books because I haven't really sat down and started reading books again since I was in high school. And like, this book has like a playlist in it of like music. I've never seen that before. Like, I've heard of it, but this is the first time seeing it. I guess that's a new thing. Maybe it's not. It's new to me, regardless. We've officially reached the part of the book that is spicy. Was not expecting that. Every time I read a book that's like, hey, there's romance in this, I'm like, oh, cool. And then I forget that usually that means horny. Romance isn't really my genre of choice. I mean, I like some romance sprinkled in, but I don't like when it's the main theme of the book. This book, I don't think is a romance. I don't know. To be honest, I didn't really read the summary very much because I don't like to know what's gonna happen in books, but the pacing is good. I do like the vibes that are going on. I'm about that much in, a third of the way. There's still some errors that I'm seeing, like grammatical errors. I'm trying not to let it bug me, but I'm pushing through. And I'm enjoying it. Like, it doesn't take me out enough to like make me not like the book, but I guess I just haven't read a lot of indie books. It is the next day. I am almost done. I have less than 100 pages left. Honestly, I'm ready for this book to be over. With this cover, you'd think it would be like magic or like something fantastical. It's not. There's just a castle. They're in a school in a castle. Like, it's definitely dark academia, but it's not, there's no magic. It's definitely a romance. I don't know why I thought it wasn't, but it's definitely a romance. It's like shockingly obvious that I don't read a lot of romance novels because there's been multiple times where the main character has been described as her nipples pebbling or her nipples pebbled. And it's just such a funny image to me because I think of like the pebbles in fish tanks. I don't know, maybe that's off topic, but it just made me laugh. I finished Gothikana. The ending was really good. I didn't feel like I was having to push through it at the end because I was legitimately entertained and excited to see how it would end. I did like the main character, Corvina. I didn't necessarily find her relatable, but I could kind of put myself in her shoes, I guess. There were some themes of mental health which fit in interesting. It was like a teacher-student romance, which is normally a little weird to me, but I guess since she was 21, it was a little less predatory, but it was fine. I mean, I liked both parties. I do like a mysterious, dark, spooky man, so there were some parts that were really hot. Overall, I think the book really dragged. I don't think it needed to be over 400 pages long. There was a lot of like good descriptions, but it was also a little repetitive. Like, I don't know. I give it like 3 out of 5 stars. I'm kind of generous with my ratings, but usually if something's not above 4 stars, I wouldn't read it again. Which, with how many books I have to read anyway, I don't think I'd read most books again. But what I'm reading next is Acts of Service by Lillian Fishman. It's a fairly new book, as you can tell by the new sticker. I actually didn't expect to get this one since I've had it on reserve for a little bit. I'm bumping it up first because I'm probably not going to be able to renew the hold, even though I have like multiple books for like different book clubs that I'm in that I have to finish. This one's like pretty short, I think. It's less than 200 pages, so let's do it. I am a quarter of the way through Acts of Service. It has a unique writing style. There are no quotation marks, kind of like that book A Million Little Pieces. Many people might find this writing style distracting. I personally do not mind it. I don't have a hard time following it. I think what I like most about this book is it's about sex, but it's not horny. Like, it's more of like an exploration than it is like an intent to arouse the reader. To clarify, this is not a romance, thank God. I mean, it's tagged as a romance on Goodreads, but it's one of the last tags. It's more of a queer literary fiction as far as I know. So I finished Acts of Service. I'm a bit conflicted in my feelings about the book. I really enjoyed it, but I didn't like the ending. It's definitely a stream of consciousness type novel. I know there's a lot of people that don't really like that style of book, but I actually enjoyed the style. I felt very immersed going through the thought process of what was going on during the novel. I hate to compare this book to Chuck Palahniuk because it's nothing like Chuck Palahniuk, but I get a similar feeling from the book because I feel like I'm witnessing something I'm not supposed to see. Like, it feels too intimate. Like, there's things going on that I shouldn't be reading. I did kind of get the ick because about halfway through the book, the protagonist Eve, she is seeing this couple, even though she's still in a relationship with her girlfriend Romy, and she shows little to no guilt. I think she was just so immersed by the experience of what was going on that she didn't feel as guilty, but later on things pan out not in her favor. Not really as a result of her cheating, but just her as a person. Eve seems to feel more guilty about the fact that she was involved with a man than she was about the actual cheating. I think it was the idea of betraying this queer part of herself than it was for her to be cheating. Acts of Service was an entertaining read. I flew through it. I mean, it was like a little over 200 pages. Honestly, I would probably read it again, so I would give it about 4 out of 5 stars. Not my favorite read, Didn't like the ending. Felt like it was like missing something. So I do have a couple more books that I have to read, but I think I'm gonna wrap up this video here because I don't want to drag it out too much. I am planning on putting out more videos. I will be posting more book content. What books have you been reading lately? Let me know in the comments, or not. I can't tell you how to live your life. Goodbye.